What them haters talking about?
What's up, family? A Pittsburgh police officer who posted a comment on Facebook celebrating the recent death of up-and-coming rapper Jimmy Wapo has been put on desk duty. The police department says the city is investigating the social media post. The department says comments that disparage victims and endanger community and fellow officers will not be tolerated. Officer Brian Martin got into an exchange on Facebook with a person saying it seemed like Wapo's death had been forgotten. Martin replied, "Not me. I'm still celebrating." The post has since been taken down, and the officer, of course, has refused to comment. Now, it's important to note that Jimmy Wapo was killed on the same day that Extentacion was killed, June 18th. He and another man was sitting in a car when somebody opened fire and killed him, injured the other man in Pittsburgh. So this is why the guy, I guess, I'm assuming that he wrote the post anyway. He said that his death had been forgotten because Extentacion's death had garnered so much attention. So a lot of people didn't even know until like the next day that Jimmy Wapo was even murdered, which is crazy because, like I say, he was an up-and-coming artist. He hadn't he hadn't reached his stride yet. He hadn't gotten in stride yet, but he was on his way. You know, he was doing some interviews, some good. He was on some good national platforms doing interviews and stuff like that. I saw him on Vlad, and you know, he was getting some good traction on social media. His numbers was climbing. I can't remember what prominent rapper it was, but I do recall somebody saying that they were just about to sign him, and then this happens. Let's go back to what the police department had to say about the officer's actions. Comments that disparage victims and endanger the community and fellow officers will not be tolerated. See, this is what these arrogant officers don't understand. They don't even consider the impact that their statements and actions have on the community. And since they really don't give a damn about the community, let me just say their fellow officers. At least they pretend to act like they care about a fellow officer. When one gets gunned down, they all start crying, and you know, they go out and make a big old show, and they stop and salute, and the hearse or the coroner's van passes by, and they following them to the coroner's office or to the hospital or wherever, and they just make a big old show out of it. Come on, fly in all from out of town and everything. But you know, a lot of this hatred toward members of law enforcement is brought on by other members of law enforcement. It is the hate that hate produced. It's self-inflicted. It's not coming out of nowhere. It is people hearing statements like the one this officer made, saying that he was still celebrating the death of a civilian, of a fellow Pittsburgh resident, somebody who was born and raised in Pittsburgh, somebody who came from the bottom and rose to the top. Not the tip top, but he got himself out of the situation he was in. And he was doing a lot better. And this is what we asked for, right? We asked for a youth to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and make something out of yourself. Because you know, we got very little patience for anybody that grew up in the hood. Like, hey man, you know, whatever happened to you in childhood, it don't matter if you got beat up, Don't matter if you got raped. Don't matter if you got beaten by your parents. Don't matter if they was alcoholics, drug addicts, whatever. We ain't got no services for you. We ain't got no resources for you. We ain't got no pity for you. All we got is these jail cells and bullets if you get out of line. So that's basically the mentality. And so this dude, Jimmy Wapo, I didn't know him, but he seemed like a cool dude from everybody that I've heard speak on him. And the reports that I read about his character, they say he was a good dude. He was looking out for his family, his friends, other people in the community. He was trying to pull everybody up with him. So he seemed like a cool dude, seemed like an all right dude to me. So why would the police officer hate on him? For the simple fact that he was probably jealous that he was a rapper. Because, you know, it is people out there who are just, they can't stand rappers. And it ain't necessarily because of a rapper's behavior or their character. They like to lump rappers together because there are a lot of rappers out there. There's all kind of rappers out there. Rappers from all types of backgrounds. Contrary to popular belief, every rapper ain't smoking weed. Every rapper, but a lot of rappers do smoke weed. Every rapper don't drink. Every rapper is not out flashing their money. Every rapper don't wake up every day and put on their chain or go to sleep with their chain. Every rapper don't blow their money in the strip club. You know, every rapper ain't got a bunch of hoes. You know, every rapper ain't just running the streets. It's a lot of rappers that's strictly about their business, man. And if you ain't about that business, they're going to be like, man, get from around me. I'm not with that negative energy. Every rapper does not struggle with their diction. Every rapper don't struggle with their vocabulary. There are a number of rappers out there that I know personally who will beat the brakes off you intellectually. But it's some people that just hate rappers, period. Don't matter who you are, you know, what kind of character you have, and nothing. They don't consider that. They just hate rappers. And I do believe most of them hate rappers because they wish they were the rapper. I really do believe that. I really do believe that many of them hate rappers because they wish like hell they had that rapper's lifestyle. And they can't have it. And most of them will never get there. So they do what's convenient for them. They just hate, surround and hate. This cop had no reason to make a statement like that. And even if he did, it's just not professional for a member of law enforcement to make that type of statement about a human being, right? These are people that's supposed to go out and protect and serve. But we know the truth. And this is just further indication that we're 1,000% correct. He should have gotten more than desk duty. His ass should have been fired. If you know this dude, you support this dude, I'm talking about the cop. If you call yourself a friend of his and you haven't checked him, you, him, and anybody else who's sympathetic toward him, your mama should be embarrassed and your daddy should have pulled out. No more talk.
What the haters talking about?